I was very excited to do a new chapter on Artemiidae, but unfortunately we're starting off with some very sad news. Our lovely female Artemia Grendel over here just passed away, and it wasn't from natural causes. It's actually much sadder. These two males, along with this guy who's leaving the scene of the crime, actually slapped her to death, which was not nice at all, and I'm very upset about this because she was such a nice and friendly Grendel. So we'll unpause it here, but that was not a very nice way to start this update. She was the one who was friendly with the other Norns. She traveled to the deep abyss and came back again, and I am just not happy about this at all. She was such a nice Grendel. The only violence we've really had in this world are from the Banshee Hydralisks. And now the males are kind of congregating and thinking, what did we do here? But I'm very upset with them, so we are going to jump over to the deep abyss where things are a lot calmer and these Norns are nice to one another. So we'll try to get away from that tragedy and find something good, hopefully, will happen in here. So as you'll remember, we have this guy back here with the Pearl Mermaid Norn sprites. He is from Artemiidae. He actually traveled over with that Grendel. They were friends. They were kind of going around everywhere together, so he stayed in here while she went back, and apparently it was a bad decision. As you can tell, I'm still very upset about this. Because my Norns here, they aren't known for being violent, so that was a very bad surprise and not a good way to start. So I'm hoping that we'll have some much more positive things come out of this. Oh, and look at that. We have a very interesting Norn. You can see one of the males back here. He's very vibrant with his purple, but it looks like he is a mix between a Color True Pearl Mermaid Norn and a Coral Reef Chi-Chi Norn, and judging by his movements so far, my guess is that although he does have the mermaid body, that he doesn't have the ability to actually swim. I'll keep an eye on him, but he's definitely a really nice color. He's very bright. And that's the nice thing about these Norns, is that as they age into adults, we can kind of see some interesting things coming about with these mixes. That's the nice thing about some of these, is that the Coral Reef Chi-Chi Norns change colors with each life stage. So that kind of gives us sort of a new perspective on these Norns every now and then. And then also the Color True Pearl Mermaid Norns don't gain their fins until they are older, so we get to see that transformation as well. And of course we do have some with floating heads who I don't think will grow out of that, but that's alright. Oh, I was wrong. You see him, he is actually swimming. He's not too far off the bottom, but he was swimming there for a second. So that's one of the things that I kind of mentioned before about how in the deep abyss we started off with just the Coral Reef Chi-Chi Norns who could not swim. So technically, oh, and we are actually traveling around because, again, we have this set so that as they age, we're going to be traveling to see them in their new life stages. It seems like this guy up here is still staying up at the top of Artemiidae with his floating head, but he's, oh my goodness, he is really disjointed. His tail isn't quite connected, but you know, it works. Back over here, though, there's a chance. Oh, and actually, look who that is. That was actually the Norn from the last video who I said I really liked because he had those nice blue legs. So he's actually able to swim, although I'm hoping if he decides to go through a teleporter, it is not this one, because that will go to the past seas in the Banshee Hydralisks. But if he ends up heading over all the way this way, towards the left side of this meta room, he might actually travel to Artemiidae and pass along those Coral Reef Chi-Chi Norns into that population. So eventually we might see that. It might take a few generations, but he's a really pretty Norn. And he's just floating around up there. Let's see. And of course, since they're all kind of at the bottom of the deep abyss, there's not much going on up at the top part of the room. But if you can hear, everybody's kind of kissing or tickling, so they're very nice to one another in this room. So this is a positive experience in here. And we get to see him swimming around. He stands out down here. We kind of have a dark, mysterious background, and then a very vibrant Norn swimming around up here. He'll eventually get somewhere. Maybe he's just testing out his fins right now. But for this update, I kind of wanted to just do a quick, kind of a shorter one. So I think we'll stop here as he travels back down and floats back up again. But at least we do have a very interesting and colorful Norn here in the deep abyss. And some, you know, nice ones in here who aren't violent. So hopefully in the next chapter, we're going to see a lot more positive and we won't start off with such a sad occurrence. But as always, thanks for taking the time to watch. Hopefully it's fun to kind of see these underwater creatures swimming around and living their lives. We'll check back in soon, and hopefully that won't be too long from now. Thanks again for watching.